Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to say shalom to the apostles and elders from Great Millstone who taught me this truth and who I'm learning off of. To you men, I say shalom. This is your brother Tribe of Judah Awakens 144 back again with another lesson. And we have here breaking news. Mass protests kick off in Paris after France's Constitutional Court approves controversial Crown Royal 19 legislation videos. All right. We're going to have a quick read and bring out some scriptures. We're going to bring it out. And it says, reinvigorating mass protests kick off in a French capital shortly after the country's top court upheld controversial legislation, which makes a Crown Royal, health pass mandatory for the general public. Hundreds of protesters marched through the streets of Paris on Thursday, heading towards the Constitutional Court. The judicial body ruled on the Crown Royal legislation package earlier in the day. And it reads on to say the court rejected some parts of the proposed law, including a provision allowing French authorities to enforce mandatory quarantine on any person who tested positive for the you-know-what. However, the court upheld the majority of the legislation, including the compulsory, darts of caregivers and the health pass as constitutional. So they've passed a legislation making it mandatory for you to drink the waters if you are a caregiver and to have a health pass. It goes on to say a large crowd of protesters gathered by the court expressing their anger over the ruling. The court itself was cordoned off with the heavy police presence in the area, as shown in the footage from the scene shared on social media. All right. We're going to play this clip really quick. See the people, because this is not just happening in France. This is happening in different parts of Europe, Australia, even in the US, but they're just not capturing it all, but they know exactly what's going on. All right. And it goes on to reads. It says the protesters chant various slogans, including Macron, "We don't want your pass," referring to one of the most criticized provisions of the law. The legislation expected to be enacted on Monday is set to make the so-called health passes mandatory in France, barring anyone without them from restaurants, bars, and other public venues. So let's get some scriptures because, this is prophecy. All right. We're going to prove it through the scriptures right quick. Let's go to Revelations 2:10. All right. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, which is Esau, Edom. It's not talking about a spiritual devil. It's talking about a physical counterpart. OK, that word devil just means diablos, which means deceiver. OK, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that ye may be tried and shall have tribulations 10 days. They just rejected in France the law to mandate quarantine. That quarantine is pretty much an imprisonment camp. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. All right. And we're here at these times. We're right at Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 30 and 7. So let's get another precept in the Apocrypha because, man, all right, these prophecies are popping off left, right, and center. And I believe it's it's chapter 16. Salakia, bear with me. And we'll start at yeah, because this is what's coming. So we'll start at verse 70. All right, Second Ezra 16-70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. And you see what's happening right now with all of these mass protests going on, and people, the heathen being fed up. Okay, but this is what's going to come, because remember, even the governor of New York, the mayor of New York, said a couple of days ago that in order to take back, to take part in New York City again, you have to drink the waters. Okay. And Governor Cuomo even stated that they're going to go knock on people's doors, and the ones who haven't drunk the waters, they're going to have to take them and put them in the car so that they can go. They're going to drag them, not trying to put words into his mouth, but something to that effect. They're going to take the people, put them in a car to go and drink the dirty waters. Okay. And you can look that video up because it's still surfacing around on all platforms. All right. But Second Ezra 16-70. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. Verse 71. They should be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. Verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses, because this is what's coming down. This is the next lockstep that's coming down, martial law. Okay, we're right there. You start to see them passing the laws and legislation, but eventually it's going to get to a point where this prophecy is going to come to pass. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Verse 73, then shall, Salakia, verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Verse 73, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. Verse 74, hear, O ye my beloved, said the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Because going back to, let's go to Jeremiah 30. What days of trouble are we in? Jeremiah 30:7. At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. This is the tribulation that we're coming to. All right. This is what it's come to. Now, there was another scripture that came to mind. Let's see if I can find it. Let me see. No, we just read that. That's right. We're gonna finish up in Daniel. Let me grab the book of Daniel. Or actually, no, Isaiah. This is Isaiah 10:1. All right. Isaiah 10:1. And it reads, woe unto them, meaning destruction. Okay. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And what is that saying? Because Macron, the president over there in France, has basically brought in draconian measures of mandating a health pass and for caregivers to drink the dirty waters. All right. And that's why the scripture says, let me see if I can get it. Here it is right here. Proverbs 29th chapter, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And you can see the people mourning all across the globe with these draconian, unrighteous decrees and measures coming into place. And how do we know? This is how we know that the earth is not bearing its fruit, meaning that the earth is not being ruled by a righteous kingdom. Because if we were being ruled by a righteous kingdom, we wouldn't be forced to stay home. We wouldn't be in these lockdowns. None of this wickedness that's going on over the planet right now will be happening. That's why the scriptures tells you in Job, let's get it, Job 9:24, and it reads, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Okay. And who is the wicked? Malachi 1:4. Very, very simple. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. So the wicked are the Edomites, Esau, Edom. And to prove that, we'll end it on this scripture here. Let's go back to the book of 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter, and we'll start at verse 7 and end on 9. And it reads, then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? Verse 8, and he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau, Edom, were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we are at the end of Esau's rulership, and this is the reason why you're having an insurrection of the people. This is the reason why the earth is in turmoil right now, and Esau, Edom, is losing his power seat. All right. So we're at the end. We just got to hold faith, keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, and pray and watch. Till next time, shalom.